Hey everyone, good morning. This is Seek and Destroy, and I am just waking up. I was up really late last night. I think I was up till about, well, early this morning, about 6 a.m. Before I finally fell asleep. As you can hear, morning traffic is outside my window. My apartment is very noisy in the morning, so it's hard to sleep through it anyway. So I normally only get a couple hours of sleep. Anyway, I'm gonna walk Echo, and I'm gonna, kind of just film random things throughout the day, and maybe come up with a cool video log, for to edit together to share with you guys, and just kind of show you just a random day in my life, and if it's something that you guys like, maybe I'll do more of these. So without further ado, let's just, let's take Echo out because he really has to go to the bathroom. Eat that food, Echo. Good boy. Get one more bite, okay? Get one more bite. Eat that food. One more bite. All right, good boy. You want to go pots now? All right, let's get your leash. All right. Hold on, bud. Make sure the gate doesn't say. All right. Go potty, X. Go potty. You're supposed to go on the tree, bud. So Echo and I are in my car. It hasn't been working recently. The clutch went out on it. It starts, but it doesn't always drive. First gear, second gear are actually pretty much dead, and it's been a real pain in the butt to get it started so I can get to going to work. And then every stoplight I hit and every stop sign I hit, it hasn't been working. So we're gonna try to repark my car so that it doesn't get interfered with the street sweep inside, and I don't get any tickets. So wish me luck. All right, so far so good. It's kind of moving. It's going really slow. I already had one car just lay their horn on me, so it's not easy. It's not easy to gain speed on this thing. I just drive like a grandma apparently, and everyone hates me for it. So, but it is moving kind of right now. I'm actually at 15 miles an hour, but now I'm gonna pull it over because I found a parking spot right across from my apartment. So, and that way I can keep a better eye on it at night. So we made it, thank goodness. Alright, well, so right after I parked my car, the back wheel kind of got stuck on the curb, like I got a little too close to the curb, and then the car, it's not strong enough in first gear to pull itself out of that being stuck in the curb. So my car is kind of screwed. I got out and I tried to push it a little bit. It didn't really help out at all because now I'm on a slight incline up, so I can't gain any speed. Yeah, that poor car. It's been really good to me. I've driven that car across the country a couple times. Echo, sit, shake, good boy. Let's get your treat. I've had that car for a while. I think about 8 years now, almost, and it's been really good to me. And I wish I was better to it. There you go, Bubba. Good boy. And but I'm not a car guy. I used to work on cars a little bit, but that was a long time ago, and it was a very brief period of my life. I love cars, but I'm not very good with them. And this one, thank goodness, it put up with me for as long as it could. But I got to try to get a loan today, and my mom's going to try to help me out with that. And then I got to, I'm still job hunting, so I got that going on. I have surgery next week, so I'm trying to get a lot of stuff done before then. I have to call into work now because my car's not going to take me there, and I can't afford an Uber trip, to work because I already Ubered on Friday and on Saturday, and I just don't have the money to keep Ubering to work every day, especially it doesn't balance out for what I make there too. So it's like it's been hard. So luckily I have good friends who have been helping me out. I've had a few friends buy me groceries and a few friends lend me some money so I can get rent paid. I'm trying to be stress free as possible before my surgery, because I have to like kind of be calm and and all that stuff. And I'm trying to eat a little bit better. So I've had a couple salads and just eating cereal and not that cereal's healthy, but I eat like Frosted Flakes and Raisin Bran and stuff from Trader Joe's. So I'm trying to be better so that I can get through this hump that we're going through. So that's enough boring stuff for now. I think next time you see me, maybe I'll try to I'll be I don't want to film myself job hunting or anything. It's going to be very boring. But maybe afterwards I'll take a break, like around lunch, get something to eat, and maybe I'll build, something like I have like a Mega Bloks Halo set, a little small one that I've had for like a month now, and a couple other things that I just let stack up 4 days like this. So I need to kind of zen out, and building something like a Lego or a Mega Block helps out. So next time I log on, you will probably see me doing that. So now I'm just doing some Kickstarters. It's about 10:30 a.m. and I'm gonna go through and message some people. I noticed a couple people changed their addresses recently, and I think one of them, I sent theirs out like last week. So I want to make sure I get the new address and send their a copy to their new address. I don't mind sending two. I've been sending these kind of media mail. So not all of them, but some of them I can use as media mail because they're books, and so which is great from USPS. I love that they do that because it makes them cheaper. It does take a little longer to get to people, but it does make them cheaper, and it helps me out because this Kickstarter for Elan Vital has actually come down to the penny almost. I wasn't anticipating such a huge reaction from it. We almost doubled in the amount we were trying to raise, and then of course Kickstarter and everything takes their cut. And then at one point I had a medical emergency and used I think $800 of the dollars to help pay for that, and then I slowly been putting money back in to refill that $800. But even in doing so, it looks like doesn't look like I ordered enough copies, and this makes me feel really stupid at this point because I thought I triple checked myself, and I had a friend help me out, and I really thought I did my job, and I screwed that up. So I have to ship out, I have to order more books, and the problem is that I'm almost at the end of the Kickstarter money to do so. So I'm got to try to figure out what I'm going to do. I've been really good, as poor as I've been lately, and as much as I've been hurting for money, to not spend any of that Kickstarter money. It's been really hard on days where I'm like, oh, am I going to eat today, or do I have enough gas to get me to work? It's been really hard on those days to not transfer money into my account and use it, but that's not what it was there for. I already did it one time, and it was an emergency, and I refilled it. So I'm trying to stick to my guns here and get all this stuff out for people, and I'm so thankful that the Elan Vital backers have been this patient. So the people that have messaged me a lot and kept in touch with me, I know that they want theirs. Some people have been like, send it when you can, which has been really great, especially right now where I have a lot on my shoulders, and ever since Comic-Con my life has been very stressful, and trying to add this in and ship these out has been even on top of all that has been really hard. And but I'm not complaining about it because it is something I have to do, and it is something that these people were brought to life. I wouldn't have made this book if it wasn't for these 200 plus people, and it means a lot to me. And it means a lot to me that Harmontown and Dan Harmon and Dustin Marshall and everyone gave me a platform to talk about it and share my life. And if you want to, if you're out there and you don't know what I'm talking about, go to SiekeDonnelly.com. I'll put the address down here, and you can check out everything about Elan Vital. And I think it is officially up on Amazon now, so you can order copies on Amazon now that I'm starting to get down to the last of the Kickstarter backers. And I may, after I ship out the last Kickstarter backers, which I'll probably do after my surgery, I'll do more international shipping then and stuff, and that'll probably eat up the rest of the money I have. So then my next Lego check after that, I'll use some of that money to order the remaining copies that I need. I think maybe about 20 copies left, so I'll order those from Amazon, and then I'll ship them out with my own money. I have no problem doing that, as long as I have it. So that's my plan. So I have my envelopes here. I have a couple already packaged up, and then I got a couple spare books here. So I just put a nice little stack. I got some of the prints, which I've been numbering as well, out of 100, and I got some of the other little prints. The Harmontown prints that I made were Dan and as Mega Man, and all the characters and stuff. those were lost. I lent them to someone to get them all signed, and then they were given out at some other event or something by accident. So I don't know what I'm going to do. There's people who backed for $25. They're supposed to get a Harmontown print. I honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. For right now, I'll just send out the digital copies of them, and then maybe I will send out, like a copy of one of my other books or something in a PDF form, just so you get something. So I really apologize if you're one of the people that donated between $20 and $25. I have some of the Elan prints, but I don't have any of the Harmontown prints, so I apologize profusely for that, and I will try to make that up to you in some other way. Just let me know how when you see my update. And so without further ado, I got to get back to this. This is something I want to try to get done by lunchtime, so then I can have some lunch, and then I got to get back to job hunting. So wish me luck. So if I look a little tired, I had like a really bad bout of fatigue a couple hours ago. I was finished lunch, and then I went to my computer to look for a couple jobs, and I found an LA org website that will help you find like temp work and stuff like that, which is fine. I'm not above doing anything. I just want to earn my way through life, just however I can. And I've had a lot of friends help me out, lend me some money here and there, but obviously I want to work for what I get and work for the roof over my head. I only looked at jobs for about 2 hours, or about an hour and 45 minutes, and then I went and laid down, and I've been asleep for, I don't know, three and a half hours now. My mom called, freaking out, because she follows me on Instagram, and I didn't post anything on Instagram today, so when she texted me if I was okay, she didn't hear back from me because I was sleeping, and then so she went and checked Instagram to see if I posted today, and I didn't, so that obviously freaked her out, so she started calling until I woke up and answered the phone. So that's the kind of, that happens a lot. I have my friend Alex one time didn't hear from me for like, a day or something, and freaked out, which is why I post a lot on social media, is to let people not worry about me, I guess. I'm hungry, but I'm not super hungry, so luckily I had an apple left over. So I love apples. Apples are like my favorite thing to snack on. Usually my grandpa used to cut them for me and slice them up for me when I was a kid. Yeah, and I don't talk about my grandpa that much. He passed away recently, but he was a really interesting guy, and he fought in Korea. He fought in the Korean War, and I think that kind of changed him. I think war changes people who aren't built for it, and he came back with a Purple Heart, but he didn't really ever talk about really where it came from and how he earned it. But he was this. I remember him as this guy. As memories have started to come back to me, I remember him as this guy that was like the Flash, like Barry Allen. When I was a kid, he used to wheel me around in a, I guess they were called the Red Flyers, the Red Wagons, that used to be around when I was a kid. He used to, wheel me around in that. We'd go down to the grocery store, grab a couple things. He'd put them in the wagon with me. Then we'd go up to the bank. He'd deposit a check or something. He used to work at a steel mill in Weirton, West Virginia, which is where they filmed Super 8. So watching that movie is kind of nice because it's all the streets and stuff I grew up on. And he knew everyone's name. Like, he was just that guy that would come into the bank and, hey everyone, just say everyone's name, and go to the grocery store, say everyone's name, go to the deli, say everyone's name, order pizza, knew all the delivery people. Just that kind of guy. Just like to know people. And he was real personable. He could talk to anyone. If he didn't know you, if he came across you in his town and he didn't know you, he'd walk right up and just start talking to you. Hey, where are you from? How you doing? Where'd you move here from? Are you just visiting? He was that kind of guy, and I always liked that because when I remember reading comics later on and seeing that Barry Allen used to have that ability where he'd go around and just say everyone's name and just kind of was very a personable superhero. I always liked that attribute, and it always made me think my grandpa was a superhero, like a retired superhero. My head is kind of killing me right now. I'm just catching up on some of today's news as far as like nerdy news goes. I see that Ben Affleck is going to be doing an adaptation of an Agatha Christie novel, which Agatha Christie's my favorite writer. I probably wouldn't be into writing if it wasn't for her, and she definitely has a theme of like justice, whether it's people taking it into their own hands or it's Miss Marple, trying to solve a case or whatever. There's always that theme of justice in her stories. So this one is called "The Witness for the Prosecution," which is a short story. It's almost kind of like how Stephen King's Shawshank Redemption was in a book of short stories. It's kind of a short story that's being adapted. And I think the last time it was adapted might have been 1956 or 7 maybe. And I can't remember the director's name right now. My head is killing me. I think it's something Wilder. Billy Wilder, Danny Wilder, something like that. I love it. I think it was nominated for like a dozen or so, or half a dozen Academy Awards. It's a great story, like most Agatha Christie stuff is. It's really great. I've been seeing that they're doing a Lost Boys TV show. Lost Boys is like one of my favorite 80s movies. Definitely my favorite vampire movie of all time. Then Runaways, which is a Marvel comic. That's going to be something on Hulu now. There was like a teaser put out there for Daredevil season 3, and obviously we got Luke Cage coming up. So there's all this cool like nerd stuff and book stuff and all that I just love, and it's cool. Like it for someone like me, it's a good time to be alive, I think, because when I was a kid, I wanted to see a lot of these characters on screen, and even when I don't like them, like even though I didn't like Batman v Superman at all really, and even though I didn't really like Suicide Squad that much, I am really fortunate that I guess those movies are even being made, and I think the first one of that was probably Green Lantern. I'm a huge Green Lantern fan, so when that movie came out, I was like really, and do I have it up here? I think it's on my other shelf. When that movie came out, I went to like the red carpet premiere of it. I was really lucky to get that opportunity and go to Man's Chinese where they had the green carpet of it. I love DC Comics. I love Marvel Comics. I just love these characters. They've been a source of inspiration for me from childhood all the way till an adult, from not having a father and needing some kind of guidance in that respect to to feeling connected to something like Peter Parker. I felt like that kid, someone I looked up to. He had a lot on his plate, and he managed to juggle it really well. So I think that helps me when people some days are like, how do you deal with all the stuff you got going on? Your car's broken down, you got surgery next week, you're looking for a job, you quit a good job that you had. Like, why do you make these decisions? Why do you put yourself in this scenario where you're stressing? And I think it's just because deep down I know I can handle it, and I won't say I'm nearly as successful at it as Peter Parker has been in the comics, but I get by, and I think that's because I have good people in my life that believe in me, and for who I wouldn't be still here standing with. And I had a friend earlier asking me like, if I was nervous about the surgery, and I've never been nervous about getting coils put in. Secretly, this is going to get a little dark, I guess, but I've always kind of hoped something would go wrong. I've been struggling with depression for years, and I guess I just kind of didn't care if something went wrong. So this is the first time where I care. I am nervous about getting coiled, even though it's a pretty standard procedure, and I shouldn't be worried. But this is one of those times where I don't want to give up. I'm starting to lose that feeling in me of wanting to give up, and I want to keep surviving, and eventually I want to get to a point where I can live a little bit better. I think I've been content with this small apartment and this small life because I never planned long term with my health. It's impossible to when you think about it. But I want to plan now. I want to look for a career. I want to look for a life. I want to live a little bit better than I'm living, and so I just cut out the safety net this time, and I'm gonna just go for it. So hopefully you guys stick with me along the ride, and hopefully there's some form of success at the end of it. And it doesn't have to be monetary, but just being happy. That's kind of in the pursuit of happiness, I guess, and I'm at that stage in my life. Why don't you go? Where are you going? Where you going, bud? What are you doing? You rub that belly? Alright. Well, it's kind of the end of the day for us, I think. It's almost 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. As you can see, I had some stuff behind me. I dug out of my closet some models that I never built. I think one or two of them I did build, and then some the others, I had the Gundam ones I haven't yet. So I figured that'll be some good stuff for me to do over the next few weeks, especially when I have post-surgery and I'm kind of bedridden and I don't have a lot to do. I'll probably keep these model kits nearby just to try to keep my mind sharp and fresh, you know, and active. That's the main thing, is trying to keep myself active and not go down the rabbit hole, as it were, and fall into any kind of sorrow or despair and kind of that kind of pit, you know. So you know, Gundams and model kits, those usually, and like Lego and stuff like that, building really helps me out. It's really reconstructed me in a lot of ways, and it's a good thing it was a hobby of mine before, and now it's you know, something that is literally, like, you know, keeping me going. So it's pretty cool. I love doing it. Yeah, as you can tell, I look really tired, and I'm not even holding the camera the right way. I'm like blocking my own source of light, so I'm not a very good cameraman at this. Echo, say goodnight, and we're gonna, you know, probably wrap up, watch some of this. I'm gonna put these boxes away and go to bed, and this will be the end of my first video vlog, or video log vlog. And if, you know, if you guys like these, maybe I'll try to do more. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Have a good day. Bye.